A few years ago, I made a video about the, at the time, current state of Siege and whether I thought the upcoming year's content would be enough to save it from an untimely death. Year 7, being the year in question, turned out to be one of the most mixed years worth of content that I've ever seen for Siege, introducing meta-shifting operators like Azumi and Solis, while also giving us quite possibly the two worst operators to ever touch the game. However, the main takeaway is that Siege still managed to make it out the other side. And with year 9 right around the corner and community hype at an all-time high, I only thought it'd be appropriate to take a look at what's coming this year and determine whether or not this will finally be the so-called Year of Siege that everyone has been hoping for. In this video, we're going to briefly cover the main positives and negatives of the year's roadmap, so where better to start than with the poster boy of Year 9, Deimos. Deimos is the new operator coming in Year 9 Season 1 and is looking to be one of the more interesting characters that we've seen added to the game in a while. He brings a new risk versus reward element to the game, being able to track any defender that the attackers have scanned prior for a brief period of time, but all the while he reveals his own location to said defender. Having played him briefly on the test server, Deimos seems to be a really fun addition to the game, not to mention that he's bringing the first new weapon to the game since that bag of shite that Sens calls an AR. He also just looks really cool, which while that may not mean much to you personally, it is great for the marketing of the game. I mean, if you never played Siege before and then you saw this guy in an ad, I don't know about you, but I'd at least certainly be intrigued. As far as the later operators coming down the line, we actually have a recruit rework in Season 2, another new operator in Season 3 from Greece, and we're closing out the year with a rework to an operator that may or may not be Blackbeard.
Season 4, we're bringing another remaster to the game, and this one is, I guarantee you've been asking for this for a long time. Super happy. This operator hails from the United States, and with my current features, I think I could cosplay Season 4's operator remaster.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely Blackbeard. Ubisoft are putting heavy emphasis on quality of life changes this year, with almost every season bringing much needed changes to pre-existing features and characters. Some good examples of this are the fact that in Season 1 we have the introduction of the shield rework. One of the most frustrating mechanics in the game currently is now finally going to become bearable. Also coming this season, we have the changes made to the magnification of some of the scopes, which is being done in an attempt to kill the TDM meta that has gone on for far too long now. In Season 2 we have the aforementioned recruit revamp, which is going to make a once obsolete feature now usable in all of the playlists. As well, in Season 2 we're also getting the full release of the Siege Marketplace, which gives new players more incentive to play now that they can obtain old cool skins, as well as giving older players more incentive to play now that they can make a ton of bank selling their old skins. Throughout the year we're receiving much anticipated tweaks to some of the strongest characters in the game, like Azumi, Solis, Fenrir, and Dokkaebi. Azumi's is coming this season, and it includes her Kiba barriers now having a health pool, meaning that they can be shot down with just bullets alone. By the end of Year 9, console players will now have the option to play with their PC friends via crossplay. This is a great addition to the game because most games nowadays have PC to console crossplay, and if Siege wants to survive then it needs to evolve with the times, and this is a great way of doing that. On top of this, the cheating portion of the console player base that are using mouse and keyboard against the terms of service will be forcibly placed into PC lobbies where they will proceed to be slammed by actual good players, which is honestly pretty hilarious. This is a great feature as it means Ubi doesn't have to end up banning these cheaters, but also is a reasonable punishment and should help matches overall be fairer. Later this year, we're finally getting the introduction of the Siege Cup, which was announced years ago. This is a bi-weekly in-game tournament where you and your friends can 5-stack against other squads in an attempt to win the whole thing and earn some hopefully cool prizes, but we don't know what those prizes are yet. And as I'm sure many people are happy to hear, PC anti-cheat is getting a cool addition with the fact that they are now going to be doing something to do with Steam. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but they said that it would hopefully make it so that cheaters cannot just immediately hop onto a different account and circumvent a ban on one account, which if that pans out how they're saying it's going to, then that should be great. Now, all of this stuff sounds really great, and so it's understandable why people are so excited for this year. But these quality of life changes do come at a cost, and that cost is new content. As you might have noticed, this year is only bringing 2 new operators with it, which is down from the previous 4 we usually get, which itself was already down from the 6 that we got that one year, which was also down from the 8 that we used to get way back when. Unless you're counting the recruits as the new operators, which I suppose they technically are, then this is going to be a pretty dry year for the operator roster. There's also the fact that unfortunately this year will introduce no new maps whatsoever, and that includes reworks to current maps that are in the game. This is of course disappointing, but let's not kid ourselves and remember that if we did get a new map, as soon as the ban immunity was lifted from it, it would be banned every game anyway. I imagine Lair will be banned so much this year that when you do finally get it once in a blue moon, it'll pretty much feel like a new map anyway. Despite the lack of new ops and maps, Year 9 is looking to be a decently stacked year in terms of the features that are being added and the pre-existing features that are receiving improvements. In my opinion, it seems like Year 9 holds essentially the same philosophy as what Operation Health did, stripping back some of the new content to make space for resources to be allocated to what we already have in the game. The following year after this is of course Year 10. With this huge milestone on the horizon, it's no surprise that Ubisoft is looking to get everything up to scratch so that when it does roll around, they can deliver the best year of content possible. The fact that so many people are excited for this year's content despite the lack of new ops and maps is impressive on Ubisoft's part. Ubi of course wants the most eyes on this game as possible right now, which they seem to be doing a decently good job with since the 6th Invitational Final just broke its previous record of peak viewership across all official streams. It's hard to mention Siege viewership without mentioning the man himself Jinxie exploding over the past year or so, which has introduced so many new people to Siege. Year 9 seems like an attempt from Ubisoft to show these newer players what Siege can look like at its best. Ubi right now has the eyes, it has the players, has the hype and the passion of the entire community behind them, which admittedly they don't get very often. And so if they play their cards right and deliver on the promises of Year 9, then it's looking like this could be one of the best years that Siege has had in a while. Not to mention that all of this should serve to make Year 10 even better. So to answer the question of whether Siege will have a resurgence in 2024 or Year 9, I think we're already seeing it take hold right now. Fingers crossed that the momentum sticks, because this is undoubtedly a very promising time to be a Siege fan. If you made it to the end of the video, then thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and consider subscribing, because clearly we upload very frequently and very high quality content over on this channel. But seriously, I will at some point address where I have been for the past year or so. It's not a very interesting story, but either way, thank you all for watching this video, and let me know down in the comments, because I didn't mention every change that's coming in Year 9. Let me know what your favorite feature that you are most anticipated for in Year 9 is. Thank you all for watching. Please do leave a like. Please do consider subscribing. I am intending to make more videos. I'm not intending to disappear for another year. But either way, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.